Buenos dias, muchachos. Happy Tuesday, April 11th. This is the video lecture for personal finance. Before I get into today's topic, be reminded to submit your Chapter 12 reading guide. Yesterday, you were supposed to complete questions 26 through 33. That is now due, so get that turned in. Today's homework assignment, when we're done with the video lecture and you are done getting down the notes, this video will be a touch shorter than 20 minutes. You are knocking out questions 1 through 15 on chapter 13, 1 through 15, chapter 13. I do not believe this document is due until next week when I'm back and we're talking about mutual funds. Let me double check that. Yes, preferred stocks and mutual funds. So we got a few days before the whole thing is due, but nevertheless, 1 through 15 when we're done. Let's talk investment strategies. Yesterday, we talked ways to analyze different types of corporations to see what is and is not a good investment to make. Today, we're talking about investment strategies, specifically when and how we should put our money in the market. So there's two kind of theories here. There's two different kinds of approaches. One is called dollar cost averaging, and that is a very fancy way of saying that we put in the same amount of money equally distributed throughout the course of the year. So most Americans are contributing money into the market every pay period. So you work up. When you have a job, you get paid typically every 15 days. You get paid on the first day of the month and the 15th day of the month, or you get paid on the 15th day of the month and the last day of the month. That's typically how it breaks down. And it's when people are paid, they have automatic deductions from their paycheck that put that money into the market. That is dollar cost averaging. The other investment strategy is that people, right, they predetermine how much money they are going to invest each year. And they put that money all in at one point in time and they just leave it there. That is called buy and hold. We can compare these two to see which is better, and our book gives us a very fancy chart of looking at it. Okay. Up in this chart right here, we can see, bring up the tools here so I can illustrate so beautifully. Where are they? There they are. Draw that one. And let's go with, yes, springtime. This is the dollar cost averaging over the course of 2 years. And again, this is what we do. Every paycheck, money goes in. So these people are investing the same amount of money, right? We are putting in $4,000. You got $4,000 total here for dollar cost averaging. And we've got the buy and hold still $4,000. So let's see what this looks like. This person is doing dollar cost averaging. They're doing it every quarter, so 4 times a year. Again, a little bit different than what I was talking about before. I was talking about twice a month, but the principle is still the same. They are putting in an equal amount of money into the market every quarter. They are spending $4,000. Because our markets fluctuate, right? They're up, they're down. Sometimes our markets are bull, meaning prices are going up. Sometimes our markets are bear. Sometimes that means our prices are going down. Dollar cost averaging allows you to kind of sometimes miss when buying when prices are high, and capitalize when prices are low. The equal opposite of that is sometimes we're buying when prices are up and we're buying when costs are down. But we can see when these prices or when these purchases were made 4 times each year, the price of the stocks were actually lower, in most cases, lower than when the person simply bought and held, I think would be the appropriate English. So we can see that over the course of this 2-year period, the person who did the dollar cost averaging, frequent contributions into the market to buy shares, this person was able to procure 83 shares for a market value of $4,326. Because this person was able to buy stocks at 46, 40, 45, all right, over the course of 2 years, in comparison to the buy and hold, where this person bought 80 shares at $50 a piece. So this person actually made, what is that, an additional $160. Now, what this doesn't show you, what this chart doesn't take into consideration are the fees that are associated with this. I don't know if this person really actually made an extra $160, because I could guarantee you this person paid a fee every single time they put money into the market. I get paid on the 15th of the month and the last day of the month. And every paycheck, 14% of my money gets put into my retirement account. And we'll get into 403Bs and IRAs and 401Ks. But more or less, these are security accounts in which I am buying stocks, bonds, mutual funds, variety of things, doesn't matter. But every 2 weeks, every time I get paid, 2.5% of my contribution gets taken out. The person who is buying the shares for me, the person who is buying the securities for me, gets a cut of that money. So while this person may have been able to buy more shares, what isn't indicated on here is how much this person is making in fees, or how much this person rather is paying in fees. Yes, they were able to get 3.2 more shares, right? This person bought 80 shares at one point in time at $50 a share. This person was able to buy 83.2 shares at various prices, but it doesn't tell us what the fees are. And this would be a benefit of buying and holding, because you pay the fee one single time and you keep it until you want to sell. And then you pay the fee the second time. This person paid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 fees. He paid a fee to buy shares 8 times. This person, the buy and hold, paid a fee here when he bought it. And whenever he sells it, then he pays a fee. I don't know if one is better than the other. There are advantages to both, because this person was able to get more shares at cheaper prices. Doesn't account for the fees though. All right. The buy and hold minimizes the swings of the market. Ideally, you want to buy when you think prices are down, and you're going to sell when prices are up, right? If you buy and sell just one time, you don't have to worry about swings. You don't have to worry about if it's a bear market or a bull market, because you know that time is on your side and you're going to ride it out until you're comfortable with the profit that you've accrued. The other benefit of buy and hold is that you can avoid paying significant taxes. Now, here's the thing. To not have to pay income tax, and income tax, you can see the 2021 income tax brackets, 10%, 12%, 22%, all the way up to 37% based on your income. All right. If you make less than $9,950, you pay 10%, 10% in that in tax. So what is that? $995. If you make $500,000, you're paying 37%. So $500,000, say ballpark that at $500,000, 10% of $500,000 is $50,000. $50,000 times 3, you're paying $150,000 in taxes, income tax. If you own a stock for less than 12 months, let me back that up. If you own any security for less than 12 months, the amount of money that you make from that purchase and sale in less than 12 months gets taxed at this tax rate right here, anywhere from 10% all the way up to 37%. So if you're in this $500,000 and if you have a $500,000 income, let's say you make $100,000 on a stock in less than 1 year, that means you're paying $37,000 in taxes. That is a lot of money. Buying and hold, where you buy and keep it for a period of time, or in our example, 1 year and 1 day, your tax rate is significantly different because you're not paying income tax on it. You're paying what we call capital gains tax. All right. If you are a person that makes less than $40,000, if you're a single, or if you are a married couple making less than $80,000 a year, you don't pay any tax, zero on that capital gain. If you're a person that makes anywhere from 40 to almost $500,000, if you're single, or if you're married and you make 80,000 to just a little bit over $500,000, you're paying 15% tax, which is still better than, well, what the hell would that be? 32%. So you're paying half the tax. That's a lot of money. If you're a person who's making $500,000, or if you're married and you're making $628,000, you pay 20%. Right? Again, that's still 17% less. That is almost half of what you would be. There are benefits and there are consequences from each of these methods, right? Dollar cost averaging, that helps us. That allows us potentially to buy things when prices are down. So we're getting things at different prices. At the same point in time, you do run the risk of buying things when they're more expensive if you're keeping that preset schedule. It also comes with more fees. This is more expensive. You have to pay to buy things, right? You're buying the stock, but you also pay a fee with it. If you go to sell these things and you haven't had them for a year, then you're going to be paying income tax on that as well. Buying and holding does have its benefits, right? You keep it for more than a year. It is capital gains versus income tax. The problem with this, though, is, you put your money in all at once, you might be buying things in a more bullish market, right? When prices are higher, you may miss out on the bearish market when prices are down. Either way, I don't know if one is better than the other. If you're doing dollar cost averaging, where you're just putting the same amount of money in every 2 weeks, every month, every quarter, doesn't matter, and you're keeping it anyway, right? If you're buying and holding it anyway, then I don't know if there really is a difference, because you're not going to be selling it anytime in, a year or less than a year to begin with. The point of it is, what I want you to take away from this conversation is get your money in the market. You're going to be performing on average somewhere between 7 and 10% on average. Some years will be a lot better, some years will be a little bit worse. But on average, we're looking at 7 to 10%. So we got to get our money in the market. The next thing is just kind of common sense. Again, this we talked about when it came to our the tendencies of investors, right? The behaviors of people who are investing. What to do with house money, what to do when you get a dividend or you get capital gains from owning a stock. Obviously, the answer here is to reinvest it. Your book talks about this whole DRIP strategy, right? Directly reinvesting your profits, no brainer, right? We are looking at building money for the future, so we have income to pay ourselves 30, 40 years down the road. That's what this is. Whatever you're making from the securities that you own, we should be reinvesting it if that is our plan. If you're investing money to make a down payment on your house, then obviously you could reinvest it until you're ready to pull everything out, or you could take that money out and put it in savings. But obviously, the money you're making in savings is going to be significantly less than what you would be making if your money was in the market. That is it for the information today. You have chapter 13, 1 through 15 for tomorrow. You are reading about bonds again. We've already touched on it, so tomorrow should be brief. And do make sure to submit chapter 12, questions 26 through 30. That document should get turned in. It's supposed to be like 98 today in Phoenix. I'm going to be on the course, hopefully getting a sunburn and not being bit by a rattlesnake, but I'll take the heat regardless. So hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing well and getting your work done. Again, make sure you're listening to Mr. Veith. And as always, go Spartans.